Look at these bitches, bro. Pussy ass motherfuckers, bro. Enard, their back is shown to you. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm drop kicking and running after them, bro. Oh look, it's the flashy landscape. This is the best one so far. What the fuck? Oh, bro, we don't need to see more kids getting killed, Mappa. And Thors is in his his Viking armor. You know what I mean? Because now it's a warrior talking to a warrior. This is so goddamn. I love how they made this. Oh, Thorfinn has killed a bunch of people, so he has a lot of guys on him. Yeah. Thors also has killed a lot of people, so they didn't neglect to animate bodies on him too. But the only difference is that he's not being dragged down. I don't know why I neglected to mention this, but obviously it's because Thors has now changed and become a true warrior who has renounced violence. So all his victims, all the bodies he's copped, it's all like he has atoned for them, but Thorfinn hasn't yet. This is Valhalla? This is terrifying. The so-called paradise for warriors is just hell? Everything every warrior in this entire series is searching for, and this is it? Is that the wait, no, it can't be. No, that's not him. No, it can't be. No. No, I can't. It is! That's Askeladd! It's Askeladd. Hey, yo, what you trying to do? Even in death, he is still the best fucking character in this entire series. Oh no, they mangafied this. He's leaving. Because he's taught him all he needs to know, bro. Used to be a slave. Y'all see how the music swells as he says that? Because Thorfinn is no longer a slave to his fucking warrior self. Every aspect of what I just watched is unmatched by anything that has come out this entire year, bro. And every single scene music was played, it did it perfectly, man. Perfectly. The soundtrack at the end there with him fucking doing the hoeing or whatever, tilling the land, whatever, plowing, I don't know what the fucking term is, conveyed the emotion in the scene. Okay, this is the part where my mic cut out for some fucking reason, but it's probably okay to, you know, stop that there because I just kept ranting on and on. But as I'm recording this voiceover right now, it's a couple weeks after the episode, and I had a lot of time to really digest the episode and can collect my thoughts into a fairly kind of cohesive manner. So hopefully I can express my thoughts on the episode without sounding like a madman. Here's a warning. This is not cohesive in any regard. This is the most tangent-filled and random-ass rant, but I still hope you enjoy, bro. I was going left, right, never having a single direction, but hey, I didn't have a script or anything. Enjoy the video. Now, for my feelings on the episode, it remains the same mostly. This is still one of the greatest anime episodes I've ever watched. It's only gotten better with time, to be honest. Like, this episode has so much more fucking substance than my initial impression. And it was already a lot during my first impression, don't get me wrong. Even excluding the content of the episode, the production, the delivery of that content is near flawless in my opinion. Every aspect of the production is literally incredible from top to bottom. The animation is just fine. It's nothing extraordinary for the most part, at least, because there's not a lot of big showy moments where it can be utilized to its fullest. But when it is used, it's fucking incredible. Like when Thorfinn is first falling down into Valhalla or hell or whatever that fucking vision was. That looked fucking great. It looked realistic. It looked honestly very eerie. Like instilled a sense of fear and worry and anxiety into me. Fucking great animation. And when Thorfinn is coming out of Valhalla or hell or whatever again, it looked fucking great too. The way it turned to this black and white mangafied, I guess if that's the word, mangafied scene, very cool too. The voice acting, which I don't think I've pointed out in any of these reactions, is really good. Thorfinn sounds so dead in the first couple of episodes, but to see him like seriously convey emotion is such a stark contrast. Well, the expression of that emotion is very, very well done by his voice actor. I can feel the remorse, the guilt off him, and I can also feel the conviction when he swears the oath to renounce violence. And again, I keep pointing this out. I know I be on dick sometimes, but the music is amazing, bro. Seriously, it damn near brought me to tears, bro, when I first heard that sound. When Thors left the motherfucker over the hill, that was so fucking great. There's so much emotion packed into that scene. You feel remorse, you feel guilt, you feel inspired, you feel motivated, you feel reassured, you feel anxious, you feel hopeful, you feel so many emotions, and that is conveyed perfectly in the MP3 file. It's a good ass soundtrack. That is a good ass soundtrack. Speaking of scenes, why don't we actually talk about scenes? When Thorfinn first enters Valhalla, there is an immediate shift in tone from a fairly gray and dull landscape to a very super dark and gloomy, hellish landscape. The color palette immediately turns to mostly dark reds and bright reds and just very bloody, very a lot of anger, a lot of hate is conveyed in the color palette. And wow, the depiction of Valhalla is literally nothing short of nightmarish. Bodies that are mutilated and fucking like grotesque as shit are just fighting each other all haphazardly and almost joyfully, like they enjoy this. It just overall adds to a very hideous atmosphere full of despair and void of hope and life. There's no positivity in this place, it's only negative emotions. And yes, we get to see my boy Askeladd returning back to the scene, and I love how he isn't down there with the other warriors. He's set up on the like a pillar, and the act of jumping down is the act of like basically sacrificing himself for Thorfinn. And speaking of Thorfinn, the characterization in this fucking scene is like so impactful. He literally breaks down because he cannot recognize any of his victims, which adds to this element of senseless violence. He doesn't know any of them because he doesn't care, or he didn't care at least. When he killed him, there was just another motherfucker to kill. There was no identity, there was no human in front of him. It was just another person to kill. And so he doesn't bother to ever remember that identity. Senseless violence. And I love how Thors is portrayed in this episode too. I forgot to mention this. But he's so disappointed. It's not, I don't feel anger in Thors. And in his dialogue, it doesn't feel like anger, it feels like disappointment. But not only disappointment, but regret. Regret that he's not able to be there to teach Thorfinn. And it's also more striking that the person who pushed Thorfinn to become a true warrior is not Thors in this episode, but Askeladd, his other fucking father figure, who has probably spent more time at this point with than Thors. I just find that very interesting that Thors himself isn't the one who pushes him to the path of a true warrior. For some reason, I never elaborated on this point, and I don't know why, but I'm going to do so now. What I meant is that if Thors was down there in Valhalla instead of Askeladd, firstly, it wouldn't make a lot of sense because Thors is a true warrior and he isn't like the other warrior. He's different from the other boys. He's not like the other senseless, violent warriors. And we also see earlier in the episode that he isn't dragged down by his victims versus Thorfinn being dragged down to Valhalla. He wasn't dragged down. Let's just assume, for argument's sake, that he does fit there logically. It would lessen the impact of Thorfinn's climb, in my opinion, because Thorfinn is climbing, okay? Even in the original scene, Askeladd isn't like helping him push him up or something. It's Thorfinn himself, along with the motherfuckers at his feet. It's him himself climbing up, like it's him alone. But if Thors is there, you know, encouraging him and telling him to find his true path, become a true warrior, it would feel a lot less authentic, in my opinion, because Thorfinn is climbing to reach the status of a true warrior where Thors is at. And for Thors to come down from that level and help push him up, it feels less impactful because it's like having your end goal helping you push towards itself, you know what I mean? Like Thors is directly pulling Thorfinn up to the surface versus Askeladd, who indirectly pushes him up and forces Thorfinn to climb on his own. This is such a haphazard way of describing this, but I hope you get it. And when Thorfinn comes out of Valhalla and comes out of that vision, we see him again crying, because again he doesn't remember his victims. And not only that, but he is able to acknowledge that his victims are people no different from Einar, i.e. people who are completely innocent and have done nothing wrong to him. And it's not even in the sense that, you know, they're good people, quote unquote. They literally did nothing to harm Thorfinn. They're not morally bad. They literally just did nothing wrong to him. And he acknowledges that. And no one else is pushing him to do that. In the sense that, you know, Askeladd or Thors, they didn't push him to make him feel that regret. This is something that he himself alone feels. In seeing him swear the oath to never utilize violence again, to never hurt anyone again, saying he wants to be reborn and that he's going to change and atone for his sins. That is so beautiful. But you know what's more beautiful than that? The scene that follows it. Just watch. I'm not going to say anything. Chills just watching it over again. And when I was watching it initially, I damn near cried, bro. I almost cried at this. Firstly, I love the detail that Thors isn't in his warrior clothing like he was in the beginning of the episode. He is in his, you know, normal traveler's garb, ordinary, because Thorfinn has renounced violence, i.e. he is no longer a warrior. Thus, Thors isn't in his warrior form. Secondly, this shit is beautiful. I love the duality of the hopeful sunset or yellow skies and the dark and gloomy road and grass. And it's also more important that Thors is walking away on top of the hill or over the hill, while the hill itself is all gray and gloomy. It symbolizes how Thorfinn's journey to becoming a true warrior, to becoming someone like Thors, is a path full of darkness, full of gloominess, full of a lot of challenge. A lot of effort is gonna need, a lot of effort he needs to put in to reach that golden sunset. I love that detail. And the way it fades out, this might just be like a very generic like animation detail, I guess, but it just reverts back to this gloomy sky, showcasing again how the path to becoming a true warrior is literally nowhere in sight for Thorfinn. It's a very long road. Thirdly, the music. Y'all cannot get away with this. Listen again. Such a beautiful violin, bro. This scene depicts a lot of emotions. You feel hopeful, you feel inspired, you feel reassured, you feel motivated, you feel warm, feel invigorated, if you will. And that is perfectly conveyed. All those emotions are perfectly conveyed in an MP3 file. In a 4 to 5 second clip of music, I can feel so much emotion. That's the power of music, bro. But this is not a fucking music review channel. I just wanted to point out how fucking beautiful the soundtrack is. Like, y'all heard it. It's so striking. It resonates with something in my heart, you know? And Thorfinn saying, I'm going to be reborn, as he takes a step after step, highlights my point yet again. This is a long ass road, and he's gonna have to take it one step at a time. And like I said during the episode, the way the music swells up after Patter says, I used to be a slave, corresponds to how Thorfinn is free from his shackles as a warrior. He no longer, well, I wouldn't say he no longer views his past as nothing. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he has at least started on atoning and becoming free as a slave of his past. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. I'm really glad y'all watched this to the end. And you know, after the video ends, I want you to do something productive, alright? Get your ass off your couch, off your bed, wherever the fuck you are, do something, you know? Do something that furthers your dreams and your goals, alright? Because, like this episode masterfully conveyed, 0.00001 millimeters of progress is still progress. It's still a step in the right direction. Hella, a step in the right direction might be simply acknowledgement. Acknowledging that you have a problem, acknowledging that you have a flaw or some aspect of you that you want to change. That is progress too. No matter how small or minuscule it is, no matter how insignificant it may seem to you, a huge amount of progress in your eyes is just a culmination of many, many, many little pieces of progress. And that's my motivational TED talk for today. Get the fuck out of here, y'all. Peace.